Okay, this is Canada, South Africa, and UK turn 5. UK Atlantic still can't buy anything, but UK Pacific has 10 IPCs and will be purchasing a tank and a mechanized infantry. South Africa has 8 IPCs. They're going to purchase a transport and save an IPC. And Canada has 8 IPCs. They're going to purchase a destroyer. Okay, Germany made a colossal error last turn and did not defend the United Kingdom. And Canada sees an opening. They have 2 infantry that they're going to load onto the transport in C-Zone 106. They're going to come over to 109 and liberate the United Kingdom. The other attacks, such as they are, most of them are walk-ins in the Pacific, or in mainland China. The artillery from Hunan is going to go to Anhui, the artillery from Guangxi is going to go to Jiangxi, and the tank from Guangxi is going to go into Guangdong. So those are all walk-ons. There's another walk-on in the south of Africa. The mechanized infantry and tank are going to blitz through Rhodesia and end up in the Belgian Congo. So they're going to retake Rhodesia from the Italians. There is an actual attack, though, and technically speaking, it is going to be an amphibious assault, because we are going to load up. Actually, we have to load up all of them, don't we? Yes, we do. We're going to load up all of the stuff for the for Cairo. Okay, we're going to load up 3 infantry and an artillery onto 2 transports, and we're going to hit the Italians in Alexandria. We're also coming in with a mechanized infantry from Egypt and a strategic bomber from Egypt. This attack will be supported by 2 cruisers and a battleship, plus 2 fighters from the Ark Royal carrier. So that's the only battle we actually have to roll. So let's get right to it. Okay, this is an amphibious attack on Alexandria. From the Eastern Fleet, the battleship HMS Duke of York, the cruiser HMS Argonaut are joining the assault. The HMS Empire Spearhead from the Eastern Fleet is bringing infantry, or 2 infantry. And then from the Med Fleet, we have the HMS Ajax cruiser. And the HMS Stalker is bringing in infantry and artillery. Also, there's 2 planes from the HMS Ark Royal carrier. Coming in from the ground is a mechanized infantry, and also we're flying in a strategic bomber as well. The Italians are defending with a tank, an artillery, and 4 infantry. They also have an anti-aircraft. So the anti-aircraft is going to get a chance to shoot at the 3 planes. And it hit one. So one of the fighters is killed right off the bat. Okay, we do get offshore shots. These are first strike. So all misses. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. 4 and a 3, 2 2s, and 3 1s. 3 hits, so that's 1 of these and 2 of these. Okay, 5 2s and a 3. 1 2 3. So that's 1 2 3, and then this guy will move up here. So those are the 3 1s that are gone. And there's 2 of these. So this is what we have left. 1 hit. Oh, this is really not going well. No hits. Well, that's a little bit better. 2 2 hits. So that's that and that. One hit. So that's the mech. Two hits, so that's everything. They will not take the territory, however, because we're not losing planes. It was enough just to take out the tank. So a victory of sorts for the British, but they do not take the territory. Okay, non-combat movement. The Canadian destroyer is going to move out and join the Americans in C-Zone 91. The Canadian infantry in Algeria is going to hop on a transport, move to C-Zone 98, and offload in Syria. This is in preparation for using the spy. Planes. The bomber will land back in Cairo. The fighter will land on the carrier, which is going to come and join the rest of the fleet in 98 along with the destroyer. In French Equatorial Africa, the South African infantry will move into Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. The mechanized infantry, the British mechanized infantry will move back into Cairo. Down in Belgian Congo, the infantry that is the South African infantry that's there is going to move into Kenya, and then the infantry and artillery that were in Tanganyika territory are going to hop on a boat and go to eastern Persia over here in C-Zone 80. So that's all the movement on the Europe side. On the Pacific side, the anti-aircraft artillery is going to move from Guangxi to Guangdong. The fighter, the tank, and the mech infantry are going to move to Kwai Chau. From India, the fighter and the attack bomber are going to fly to Kwai Chau. And there is a rail station in India, which means I can take 3 infantry from India and rail them to Kwai Chau. The remaining infantry, artillery, and anti-aircraft in India will move to Burma. And the Canadian infantry in Siam will move to Shan State. So we'll tidy this up and then we'll come back in a sec. Placement of new units. Canadian destroyer in C-Zone 106. South African transport in C-Zone 71. And finally, mech infantry and tank in India. Okay, changes to income. In Jiangxi and Anhui, the Chinese are going to gain 2, and then in Guangdong, the British are going to gain 3. So that's going to be a 5-point swing for the Japanese. So the Japanese go from 36 to 31. China gets 2 from 14 to 16, and the UK goes from 11 to 14 on the Pacific side of the board. On the Atlantic side of the board, the Germans are going to lose 6 because of the liberation of the United Kingdom. So Germany goes from 39 to 33, and the UK goes from 12 to 18. Now, there are some other UK adjustments as well. Now that the UK is liberated, the South Africans are actually going to lose some stuff. Now they gain $1 from the Italians for Rhodesia, but they are going to lose Kenya, Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, and the Belgian Congo. So that's 3 down, and then 3 up for the British. So the British are going to go from 18 to 21. The South Africans are going to go down 1, 2, 3 to 5. 2, 4, 6. So sorry, they should, but up 1 to 6 because they gained Rhodesia back. So, oh, wait a minute. No, so that's 5 though, isn't it? They have 4 to start. No, 5, 6. Yeah. So they still own Ethiopia, and they're still controlling French Equatorial Africa. Oh, and then the Italians go down from 12 to 11. All right. So that should be correct. All right. So, oh, we forgot some income here. Hang on one sec. So the British are at 21. Okay. All right. So the Atlantic British get 21 IPCs because their capital has been liberated. The South Africans get 6, plus they saved an IPC from last time, and the Canadians are going to get 8. No, they should have... sorry, the Canadians get 9 because they have Algeria and Siam. So Canadians are at 9. Brits are back on the board with 21. South Africans at 7. And the Pacific Brits are at 14, although there is a convoy in... I'll show you where. Hey, over there. In C-Zone 41 off the coast of Sumatra. So it is a sub, and they can lose up to 4. So they lose 3. So they're only going to get 11 IPCs for next turn. Okay, let's do disposition of forces. The Canadians have 3 infantry in Quebec, 2 infantry in the newly liberated United Kingdom, along with a transport in C-Zone 109. There is a destroyer in C-Zone 91, and there is a transport in C-Zone 98 and an infantry in Syria. And lastly, for the Canadians, there's an infantry in Shan State. Let's do the South Africans just while we're on the board here. Down in South Africa, they have an artillery. Off the coast in C-Zone 71, they have a transport. In the Belgian Congo, they have a mechanized infantry and a tank. And in Kenya, they have an infantry. In Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, they have an infantry. And then there is a transport in C-Zone 80. So that's all the South African forces. British forces. There's a anti-aircraft artillery in Malta. C-Zone 98 has 2 transports plus the Canadian transport, a carrier with a fighter on it, a battleship, 2 cruisers, and a destroyer. In Cairo, in Egypt, we have a minor factory. We have a bunker, or a pillbox, if you like. And we have a mechanized infantry and a strategic bomber, along with, of course, an Australian infantry and mechanized infantry. Moving over to eastern Persia, there's an infantry and an artillery. In India, there is mechanized infantry and a tank. In Burma, there's an infantry, artillery, and an anti-aircraft artillery. In Sumatra, there's an infantry and an artillery. In Anhui, there's an artillery. In Kiangsi, there's an artillery. In Kwangtung, there's a tank and an anti-aircraft. And in Kwaichao, there are 3 infantry, 1 tank, 1 mechanized infantry, 2 fighters, and a tactical bomber. So that's the extent of the British, Canadian, and South African forces on the board. And the Brits are back in the game all of a sudden. Now remember, their territory has been conquered and reconquered, so they went from a major factory to or an industrial complex to a major factory to a minor factory. If the Germans take it back, it's going to be a military base. Although obviously the UK will probably upgrade it next turn, so we'll see what happens with that. Okay. I think that's it. So the minor allies, the Anzac, the Dutch, and the French are up next. Oh, no, sorry, there is one last thing to do, and that's Canada is going to use its spy capability. The reason they put an infantry in Syria was to get next to Turkey. So what they are going to do is attempt to turn Turkey from a true neutral country to a pro-allied neutral country. They need a 5 or a 6. If they miss, they're going to owe 2 IPCs to the bank. 3. So they missed. The spy has been grossly ineffectual in this game so far. We will not see Turkey turned by the Canadians.